Hey everybody, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and in today's video I'd like to talk a little bit about all of the quality issues and errors that are happening right now in the world of physical media, and sort of why I think this may be happening and how the studios could probably go about fixing this very easily. So the reason I'm making this video is because if you've been following physical media news lately, or you're a collector like myself who's been buying releases, you've probably heard about two pretty high profile mistakes that a couple of major studio and distributors have made. Number one is the Criterion 4K release of Citizen Kane, which had a glaring issue with the Blu-ray disc inside of that release. I'll cover that in a second. And the other being the Mad Max 4K anthology from Warner Brothers, which also had some pretty obvious audio issues once it was released out to the masses and they discovered that. So we've had sort of these disc replacement programs that have been consistently popping up, and it seems like they've been popping up since COVID. And I want to talk about like why that's happening, some of the different examples I'm referencing, because really this doesn't just, nobody's exempt from this. It's affected like every studio out there at one point or another in the last 18 months. And I do sort of have a solution or an idea, and maybe somebody from one of these studios or distributors will see it and consider it, because I do think it could solve a lot of headaches. So first, I just want to give you a few examples of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about quality control. And obviously this is after the transfer stage, after all the restorations like work has been done. This is once a disc has been pressed and manufactured. Well, then it goes off to somebody in quality control or a quality control department, and they're supposed to look through this package. Are all the special features there? Is the video rendering correctly? Does it look right? Are there any glaring issues? Stuttering, juddering, crazy color, contrast changing, anything missing scenes, missing audio? That's sort of what the quality control department does, and it's what they should do before anything ever hits the shelves and gets sent out to the masses. So in the most recent cases, the first one is Citizen Kane on the 4K Criterion release. While the 4K disc was perfectly fine, it's pretty glaring that either nobody watched the Blu-ray disc or they just totally missed it. But from about 30 minutes on, the Blu-ray disc contrast completely changes. It's a completely different look and feel, and somehow that got through quality without anybody noticing it, and Criterion sent it out to shelves, and now it's being recalled. They have to do a disc replacement program, and every time this happens, it hurts me because I know it's costing them a lot of money, and it's hurting physical media's bottom line, which sucks for us as collectors because they're going to be less likely to release things and spend more money when they've just had to spend a bunch on a disc replacement program, manufacturing and pressing new discs. So that's one example, but Mad Max is another one where Warner Brothers simply took an Atmos audio mix that they did for those new Beyond Thunderdome and Mad Max Road Warrior, Mad Max 2 and 3, and they kind of just like lazily downsampled it to 2.0 and 5.1, and they were supposed to provide the original 2.0 and 5.1 audio. That's what my understanding is, although I still haven't heard anything from Warner Brothers. They've kind of like buried this and not even sent out a formal communication about it. I heard about it from a couple retailers and a few other people in the industry, in other collectors. I say in the industry, but like other YouTubers, other collectors that I talk to. So they haven't even publicized it. They're kind of burying it, but there's an issue with the audio, and it's literally missing some elements. It's not the original audio mix. It was kind of a lazy job and nobody caught it. So that's another issue of what can happen, but those are more recent. In going back throughout this pandemic, we've had the Friday the 13th set, which came out from Shout Factory. I think there were 3 replacement discs for that set because it was missing the 3D title intro, was missing a scene from the unrated version of one of the movies. It was like just easy stuff that somebody should have caught. Psycho had the missing mono audio track, which should have been on the 4K release, was not there. Again, missing original audio. How does that get by quality? I don't know. And even Columbia Classics from Sony, who is one of my favorites in the physical media game, was completely missing some of the Lawrence of Arabia special features on that set, and they had to send out a replacement disc to everybody to update their set. So it just seems like there's these really obvious issues. Like, special features are just not there. There are missing scenes. There are missing audio tracks. There's a clear issue. Donnie Darko is another one from Arrow Video. There was clearly an issue with that disc. It didn't affect me, but it affected a lot of people, where the disc stuttered and had like juddering issues and was very shaky. If you watched it on more than one type of player, anybody probably would have caught that. So it's disappointing because they put a lot of money and a lot of effort into these releases, and then they get to this sort of last quality stage and either nobody's catching it, or they don't know what to look for, or they just don't know what they're doing, period, when it comes to physical media. I don't know which it's which, and I don't want to call anybody out in particular, but clearly there's an issue and there's some disconnect, because we've had way too many high profile releases like A Citizen Kane, Friday the 13th, Columbia Classics, Psycho, Donnie Darko. I mean, these are not like under the radar releases. Citizen Kane is a huge push for Criterion, and now they're going to get slammed because they have to repress all the Blu-ray discs. Like, how did that get missed? So something's wrong. Something's going on here. And again, I've talked about this before, but it's got to be due to budget cuts and workforce cuts and labor cuts. Like, it wouldn't even surprise me if I don't know, maybe like Shout Factory outsources quality control, or I don't want to say that they do. I don't know this for sure, but if it's being outsourced to third-party companies who maybe don't know what they're doing, even from the major studios, maybe Universal sends it out and lets other people take a look and test it, and maybe they just honestly don't know what to look for, don't know what to find, or there's people internally and they have their quality control departments, but these people are not experts on physical media. They don't notice that scenes are missing because they're not fans of the movie. There's so many issues going on, but it's got to be due to the lack of resources. That's what it comes down to for me, is that whoever's doing the quality control is probably rushed, because there's probably like one or two people trying to do QC on dozens of discs in a week, and they're probably working 60 hours, and that's going to cause mistakes. So again, like I said, not blaming anybody, I'm blaming the industry as a whole, and the studios and the distributors, because I think that's the problem. Overworked people make mistakes, they miss things, they're stressed out trying to get things out the door, and that's how we have problems. So I talked about this is the same thing that's affecting like the delays of different 4K movies and Blu-ray movies, why things keep getting pushed back, why you're not seeing a bunch of copies on shelves. Like, it's just an industry-wide issue, but when it starts affecting the quality, that sucks, because we're paying $25, $30 buying these discs, supporting them, and then having to go through the disc replacement. And it's not the biggest pain in the world, but it becomes a pain where I've either purchased or been sent all of these releases this year. It's 6 different major releases that I now have to go through, and like in the case of Criterion, I bought the Citizen Kane 4K. Now I have to send them the disc back and then get a new one, and granted, they're giving a gift card of $10 if you do that, but it's just a pain. It's just like, I bought your disc, just give me the product, and filling out all these forms and waiting for discs to show up. It's just unnecessary, and it's making physical media look bad. So, I said I had a solution, and really the way that I think about this is, why not let true fans of physical media and true fans of these movies and these franchises do the quality control on these? Press 50 discs and send them out to people that work in the case of Friday the 13th, send them out to horror movie enthusiasts, Friday the 13th historians, people who are on like the movies that made us on Netflix. Send a disc to all those people, let them watch it, let them enjoy it, and let them find that you're missing a scene here. The 3D title sequence is not in 3D. Like, these are the things that super fans of these movies often find once they've already purchased them and brought them home. Send them out to people who, review these movies. And I know I get sent the disc, but I get sent them after they've been manufactured. But, go to some of these sources like my channel or many of the others out there, people who are enthusiasts about this stuff, and send us the discs and say, can you quality control this disc for us? Let us watch it. Is it skipping? Is it juddering? Is the audio screwed up? Are you missing an audio track? Like, we will find that stuff, right? I mean, that's what ends up happening, is these things get in the hands of collectors and enthusiasts, and then within literally 24 hours of these movies hitting shelves, we find out there's an issue and the studio has to fix it. So why not get ahead of it in 3 months before you press tens of thousands of these discs and all the packaging is ready and sent to shelves? Send it out to some collectors and people and let them take a quick look at it. And, you know, just announce it. It's coming in 3 months. We sent out some discs for quality, and you'll see it on shelves 3 months from now, and make the announcement. And just let people have it, and, you know, I'll sign whatever, sign an NDA, say you can't, you know, share the disc with anybody, you won't review it till the full version comes out, all that stuff. But I feel like fans of these movies will catch these issues. Anybody with a decent sense of what a Blu-ray is supposed to look like would have noticed Citizen Kane completely changing contrast 30 minutes in. Anybody who knows Friday the 13th would have caught those errors with that set. If you loved Lawrence Arabia, you're going to notice the special features disc is not here, or you're missing special features. Donnie Darko fans and home theater fans are going to notice the issues. If you send it out to 25 or 30 people with different players, you could have avoided that completely. So that's my pitch. That's my solution. Honestly, take it out of the hands of the studios who are too close to this stuff. You know, I think about whenever a product is created, take it out of the hands of the people creating the product and give it to the beta testers, give it to people who will mess with it and break it and try to break it, and they'll tell you what's wrong and you can fix it before it goes out. And for some reason that doesn't happen with physical media, and now we're getting all these mistakes because people are rushed, the resources aren't there, and it's causing problems and costing these studios a lot of money, where they could have saved the money by just having a few beta testers come in a few months early, and they would have likely found all these issues. So that's my 2 cents on the issue. Just wanted to let you guys know what I thought. I get questions about all the disc replacement and the quality control all the time, so wanted to address it here. But I mean, if anybody is watching from any of these studios and wants to reach out, I feel like we could develop a pretty good program where the physical media community itself does the quality control and make sure these things are up to par before they hit shelves for the masses. It'll save the studios hundreds of thousands of dollars in PR and gift certificates that Criterion's giving out, replacement discs. I can't imagine how much it costs Shelf Factory to print 3 more discs for every single set and then take all those forms, ship all those orders. I mean, it's a mess for a small company like that. So let us help you out. Let the community help you. Reach out, and we can certainly make sure these issues stop happening at least as often as they are, and they seem to be, ever since COVID hit in March. So appreciate you all watching. Hope you guys are subscribed and like this video, because that'll help others see it, spread the word about this solution that I've proposed, and maybe we can get this stuff fixed. And also tells people that they may have defective discs, because that was another reason to make this, is some people may not know. But other than that, follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. You can find me on all those places and reach out at any time. I'm always happy to talk to people over there. But other than that, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and stay healthy out there, and I will talk to you soon.